Hey guys, welcome back. I hope you're doing good today. Well, we're going to talk about pole beans and the differences between them and bush beans. And I'm going to show you how mine are doing and just some of the major differences between the two, even though they can be the same variety. And this is going to help you make an informed decision on which one is right for you. So, I got to say this right off. These have turned out really, really well. And I'm especially proud of them because I actually saved the seeds last year from my pole beans and grew these. So I was really excited. They taste good. And so let's go ahead and get into the differences between the two. Okay, so real quick, I'm going to show you my rows. And then I'm going to show you a few of the beans that I've been getting off of these. I actually picked a bunch last night and there's more coming. So I've got 3 rows, and as you can tell, they've went chaotic. You know, they can get up to 15 feet tall, and you can pinch them off and keep them shorter, but I just didn't do that. And they have just been growing great. It's been really hot here the last few days in west central Indiana, but before that we had a bunch of rain and they just really took off. They're actually just now just kind of getting started, but just a really good looking bean. If you've ever grown Blue Lake 274s, that's exactly what these are. And some people say pole beans don't taste as good, but I find that they taste exactly the same. They're not stringy, anything like that. So let's go ahead and get into some of the differences between bush beans and pole beans. Now, real quick, if this is your first time watching the channel, thank you very much. You know, everybody's time is important, and I do appreciate you taking your time to watch these videos. And if you would, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. I would appreciate it, and it is free. So, what are the differences between a pole bean and a bush bean? Well, the first one, this is the reason why I switched from bush to pole beans, and it's this right here. I can pick them standing up. And the older I get, the less I really want to crawl around on the ground, you know, picking beans. And a bush bean is only going to get about 2 foot tall, whereas these, they can get all the way up to 15 foot tall. So I can stand up and pick them. And so that's really kind of nice. Now the downside of that is I got to trellis them. And so whether you use a cattle panel or I use fence post and baling twine, you have to trellis them. So you have time, effort, and money involved in that. And just for a reference, these grew a lot better than the ones I had last year. And I got these fence posts about 10 foot apart, and I should have probably had them closer. You know, when you looked at them rows, you could see they're kind of starting to sag. So that's something, you know, for next year I'll have to do that. Now, I view a pole bean as an indeterminate. I've never heard that term used for beans, but pole beans will grow continuously all the way till your first frost. And so you're going to get a lot. Whereas a bush bean, I grew them for years. You're going to get a couple decent picks off of them. And then even if you go to pick them that third time, they're usually kind of hard, kind of woody. So you're really going to just have that 1 or 2 picks and then they're done. So if you don't need a lot of beans, bush beans might be the way to go. I myself, I've got all the farm animals, the pigs and the chickens and all this, and they will eat every bean I have. So none of this is going to go to waste. And I canned a little over 40 quarts last year, and that was more than enough. I'll probably do about that again this year. So, you know, all the extra, nothing will go to waste. So that is something that you really want to think about. You know, how many do you need? You're going to get twice as many beans planting pole beans. And so just a real quick number, in a 10-foot row, you're going to get about 8 pounds of beans with a pole bean. With a bush bean, you're going to get somewhere around 4 pounds. And this is a Blue Lake 274, like I said before, and I think they taste just as good, if not better, than a bush bean. Well, let me know what you think. Let me know, you know, how your garden's doing, and if you planted pole beans or not, and just share, you know, how it's going. I really do love to hear about everybody's garden. Well, that's the video, and I hope it helps, and you guys have a good night. I'll talk to you later. See ya.